Chapter 5, Exceptionally Kind. Manaswi watched her close friend, who now wore the expression of someone carrying far too many heavy thoughts. She kept hearing loud sighs from her every few minutes. Firacha had her arms crossed the entire time, and most importantly, she just sat there doing all of that without saying a single word. The only thing she had spoken since arriving was a brief greeting. "Did you fight with your beautiful wife again? Or with her mother?" These days, the usual questions were always the same. Did she argue with her gorgeous wife or with the sweet-smiling mother-in-law? Sometimes people asked whether she had clashed with her mother-in-law again. The youngest daughter of the Fatcheraticorn family didn't have many problems, just these few repeating ones. "I really am the one who caused our divorce, Manaswi," Firacha said at last. Her friend raised an eyebrow but stayed quiet, studying her carefully. In her eyes, she found no anger, only sadness. Something must have happened today between Firacha and Ranchin, her wife. Manaswi needed to know what. Not that Firacha had never blamed herself before. She always admitted that part of their strained relationship was her fault. She knew that she had also made things worse. Her patience had run out. She couldn't stay quiet anymore. The fake peace between her and her mother-in-law finally broke, turning into a real fight between two generations. But still, she didn't blame only herself. She believed that if Ranchin Lopez's mother had respected her even a little, things wouldn't have ended like this. That was always how she saw it, but today felt different. For the first time, her beautiful friend blamed herself more than anyone else, and that surprised Manaswi. "What happened?" "I never knew people talked about P. Ranchin like that, saying she lives off me, saying her life is better only because she married someone richer." Frowned immediately. "Who said that?" "People around her, her co-workers. I don't know how long she's heard all of it." Firacha blinked quickly to stop herself from crying. She had been thinking about it all day and couldn't focus on work. Her chest felt tight and her eyes burned. Had Ranchin Lopez really felt worthless all this time? Manaswi sighed softly. She got up, walked to her friend, and gently placed a hand on her shoulder. Firacha had been angry when she received the divorce papers. She had been cold toward her wife, sarcastic and bitter, saying one thing while feeling another. But now that she knew the truth, she felt something else. Sadness. Sadness that the woman she loved had suffered alone for so long because of cruel words from others. The lawyer had faced everything by herself. She never shared her pain, not even with the wife she had promised to stay beside through good days and bad. That made Firacha feel hurt and sad. She tried not to think too much, but she couldn't help wondering if her wife didn't trust her enough to open up. Sensing the thought, Manaswi spoke quickly to dispel it. "She just doesn't talk about her feelings easily. It doesn't mean she doesn't trust you." "I think she doesn't love me anymore," Firacha whispered. "But now, you know the real reason she asked for a divorce. Do you still think she doesn't love you?" "If she gave up so easily, isn't that the same as not loving me?" "Love doesn't solve everything, Neen. Love can't beat someone's deep feelings of low self-worth." Neen closed her eyes and rubbed her temples. "I've never felt this terrible, not even when I thought P. Ranchin wanted a divorce because I fought with her mother." "Your beautiful wife is also part of the problem, Neen. If she never talks, then no matter how long you're together, you can't understand her completely. But I get it. Some people just struggle to talk." "That's one of her bad habits," Firacha muttered bitterly. "So what now?" Manaswi asked after a pause. "You know the truth. Are you going to fix it, talk it out, try again?" For a moment, hope flickered, but it faded quickly when Firacha spoke. "If Ran wanted me, if she wanted to fix things or even try to communicate, I would give it another chance. But she doesn't. She never tried." Her voice broke at the end, and tears welled up again. "She couldn't stand it anymore, so she asked for a divorce without even telling me the real reason. Honestly, I don't think I can go on living like this either. It's exhausting." It was a dangerous sign. Reaching the point of exhaustion meant her decision was already firm. "You're still emotional, Neen. Can you calm down a little?" "I've been thinking about it all day," Firacha said. It was her quiet way of explaining that this wasn't some impulsive reaction. Everything she'd said and felt had already been carefully thought through. If I'd known, I would have called Flonfin to join us, Manaswi sighed. I thought this was just another fight about something silly. She started missing their third friend. Having three of them together might have helped. Flonfin always brought another point of view, something worth listening to when things grew complicated. Right now, she felt confused. She felt sorry for her friend, a little annoyed at Ranchin, but also understood her. Flonfin's busy today, Firacha said softly. Let's not drag her into this. Then what do you want to do? Go for a drink. I'll come along, promise not to complain even once. Raised both hands, as if making an oath. Before, she used to complain when her heartbroken friend dragged her out to drink, even on work days. But seeing her today, anyone would give in. Wherever she wanted to go, Manaswi would go, anything to make her feel better. No, this surprised her. Usually Firacha was the one dragging friends everywhere, but today she rejected everything. What about dinner? No, she didn't explain why. She just refused, which made it even more suspicious. Tell me what you want to do. I don't want to do anything, she said softly and stayed quiet for a moment. But soon the truth came out because she knew she couldn't avoid the question. I have to wait and pick someone up. Both of them knew who someone was. Why pick her up? There's a party. She didn't drive. Oh, that's Miss Neen's life, huh? Manaswi sighed. You're angry at her, but you still love her so much. You worry about her all the time. You won't let anyone else drive her home. You won't even let her take a taxi. Firacha rolled her eyes, but she couldn't deny it. Everything her friend said was true. She was sad and angry, but she loved her even more. Try talking nicely to your beautiful wife. You only speak sarcastically to her. Doesn't she deserve it? Think again, Nee. Isn't Ranchin someone to pity too? Yes, she has bad habits. Yes, she's annoying sometimes. Yes, she never talks. But imagine living every day feeling like you're not good enough or not worth anything. That's heavy too. I'm so tired, Manaswi, what should I do? She didn't ignore her wife's pain, but she also felt exhausted from trying to stay strong. What can you do? You two will separate soon anyway. Try to make things lighter. Don't let your mental health get worse. This was what Manaswi always wanted to remind her. Their relationship had become unhealthy. Manaswi worried about both of them. If they finally separated, she hoped they would at least make things calmer, so it would hurt less for both sides. Are you telling me to get back together with her? I'm not telling you to reconcile. I just want you two to live peacefully until the divorce. You don't need to fight every single day and stress yourselves out. Work is already tiring enough. Don't add more fights at home. Then tell that to the person at home, Firacha muttered under her breath. Oh, come on, Manaswi teased lightly. Once you're done with this relationship, I'll help you find someone new. Yeah, right. Easy for you to say. You mean finding someone new? With your looks and your family background, that won't be hard at all. She paused and then laughed when she saw her friend's annoyed face, clearly wanting to argue but refusing to say anything. Or is it hard because you can't love anyone else? Because you only love Ranchin? You talk too much. I'm going home. She quickly stood up, ending the conversation and avoiding the question they both already knew the answer to. Manaswi watched her friend and thought deeply. Life's problems were crushing that woman from all sides. Someone who once lived happily, surrounded by wealth and a loving partner, had now become a person with sad eyes and a constant look of exhaustion. It was clear as day. A love without understanding had turned Firacha into this. Strong alcohol was too much for someone who couldn't drink well. After only a few sips, Ranchin Lapas was already dizzy. She had been sitting straight earlier, but now she was swaying on the plastic chair. Her junior coworker kept watching her, scared she might fall backwards. This party was different from usual. Everyone wanted to eat at an Isan restaurant near the office, so they were all sitting together in a loud place full of talking, loud music, and a big fan blowing warm air around. Does your wife only let you drink soft, expensive wine? Just a little liquor and you're already like this, Ranchin joked loudly, laughing as he teased her. He knew she couldn't drink much. She always got tipsy fast, but he still teased her without thinking how his words might annoy someone already stressed. "Stop talking like that." Voice was flat, and her face showed she was not happy. Then she grabbed her glass and almost finished the strong drink at once. "I was just joking. Wow, you get moody when you're drunk," laughed awkwardly, embarrassed because she scolded him in front of others. "Who's laughing with you? Have you ever seen me laugh at your jokes?" Everyone went quiet when their normally calm boss suddenly raised her voice. The woman sitting beside her gently rubbed her back to calm her down. It was rare to see Ranchan Lapas like this. She was strict and serious, but she almost never showed anger. If she argued, it was always about work. But today, she was clearly upset because of personal problems. "Why are you shouting at me, P. Ranchan? You never act like this." At complained, not understanding anything. He thought working with women was tiring. They were always emotional, in his opinion. "I just don't usually say anything. But you should know what is appropriate and what is not." Her face, already red from alcohol, turned even redder from anger. Everyone looked uncomfortable. They had never seen her like this. Today was too much for her. She had argued with her wife. Both of them had cried. Work stress and personal stress piled up. She reached her limit, and At happened to say the wrong thing at the wrong time. "Why can't I joke about your wife? I didn't say anything untrue." He argued back, feeling embarrassed and refusing to apologize. He insisted she was taking it too seriously, because he thought he was. "Just joking." "Oh, are you jealous that I have a wife who's beautiful, rich, and kind? But you're just..." She stopped mid-sentence and stared at him teasingly. That was enough to make At lose control. He jumped up, ready to attack her, but the others grabbed him and held him back. "Piat, stop. P. Ranchan, please call Kun to pick you up," the female junior said quickly. Ranchan Lapas nodded and even smiled, pretending everything was normal, even though she had almost been hit. She didn't look scared at all. She simply searched her bag for her phone while others dragged At outside. "Sorry for ruining the mood. I'll go now. Please continue eating." She tried to keep her voice calm. Her anger faded, replaced by guilt. Everyone had come to relax, but she had ruined the evening. "I'm really sorry." Meanwhile, Firacha waited in her car outside. She looked toward the restaurant, wondering why they were eating at an Issan place this time. Before she could think more, her wife walked out, with the junior coworker beside her. Her usually polished, elegant wife looked completely different. Her shirt was half untucked, her blazer hung over one arm, her sleeves were rolled up carelessly, and many shirt buttons were undone. From head to toe, the beautiful lawyer was a mess. "Thank you for walking her out," rushed over to hold her drunk wife and thanked the junior politely. As soon as she got close, she wrinkled her nose at the strong scent of alcohol coming off Rand's body and clothes. She couldn't help but wonder what on earth they had given her to drink. "Please, take her home right away, Kun," the younger colleague said urgently. Firacha frowned, puzzled by the woman's anxious tone. Why was she in such a rush? But before she could ask, she saw movement from behind, the familiar figure of At storming toward them, his face dark and furious. What on earth was happening? "Do you think being a boss means you can say whatever you want?" A loud shout came as a tall man rushed toward Ranchan Lapas. Luckily, someone caught him before he reached her. Firacha froze in shock. She didn't know what was happening, and she was even more shocked when her wife talked back. "You started it first." Her drunken fog disappeared. While leaning on her wife for support, she pointed a finger at, something Firacha had never seen her do. "So what? I'm right, aren't I? Everyone knows you live off your wife," At sneered. "And you." "P. Ranchan." Before she could say something worse, she stopped when she heard Firacha call her name. One pleading look from her younger wife was enough to calm her anger. "Let's go home, okay?" "Say it, come on, say it." "Watch your words, Kun At." Firacha's voice was cold and firm. She had disliked this man from the morning, and now he was speaking rudely to her wife. She didn't expect him to respect Ranchan Lapas as his boss, but he didn't even respect basic decency. "What, you going to hit me now?" he spat back. You think just because you're rich you can do whatever you want. Yes, and if you don't want trouble, shut your mouth. That's your warning. She pulled her wife toward the car, gave out a frightening look, and walked to the driver's seat. Her mind was already thinking of ways to deal with him. How dare he shout at her wife? Inside the car, Ranchin Lopez said nothing. She didn't even buckle her seatbelt. So Firacha leaned closer to help, then flinched at the strong smell of alcohol. Oh my God, why do you smell this bad? I think it stinks too. Her wife met her eyes. They said it was cheap liquor. A fancy drinker like me can't handle it, so I get drunk fast. That wasn't really an answer. She just couldn't hold everything inside anymore. Today she had no strength left to hide her feelings. You get drunk easily no matter what you drink. I know, right? But people say my wife only lets me drink expensive, smooth alcohol. So when I can't handle cheap liquor, they mock me for it. She tried to smile, but Firacha could see the pain behind it. Her beautiful wife was hurting from everyone's comments. Like how they say, I don't eat fermented fish sauce anymore because I married a rich woman. A small laugh slipped out of Ranchin Lopez, but the sadness in her eyes didn't fade. After fastening her seatbelt, Firacha slowly pulled away, yet her gaze remained fixed on her wife's beautiful, but exhausted, face. P. Ranchin. She called her name softly when she saw how dim and defeated those eyes looked. Everything gets linked to the fact that I married someone rich, even when some things have nothing to do with it. Younger woman looked at her wife with genuine sympathy. Now she understood what it felt like to lose confidence, to lose self-worth. Let's go home, she said, ending the topic. She prepared to drive, then added, without looking at her wife, and tell me what happened with him too. Ranchin Lopez was surprised by how gentle she suddenly was. No sarcasm, no sharp tone. She didn't know why, but she wished she could freeze this moment. She wished she could have this softness from the woman she loved so much forever. He asked if I was living off my wife, Ran said faintly. So I asked if he was jealous that I have a wife who's beautiful, rich, and kind. You said that? Firacha nearly choked, wide-eyed. For someone as reserved as Ranchin Lopez, that kind of response was unthinkable. It even made her heart race a little. Her wife, a lawyer who barely spoke unless necessary, had actually said something so bold. Yes, I don't know why I got angry so easily. I'm surprised too, Firacha murmured. He really is jealous that I have you. What? Her cheeks grew hot. It annoyed her that she could still get flustered by her own wife, even in this situation. But honestly, who told her wife to say something so sweet with a smile like that? He sleeps with older women to get promotions, but in the end, he's still just my junior. P. Ran, Firacha gasped, spinning toward her wife in alarm. Just moments ago, she had been blushing at Ran's teasing. Now she was full of shock. Her wife sounded far too calm for someone who had just spoken so bluntly. Ran even admitted, without flinching, that she had almost said that to the man. Yes, Ran confirmed plainly. How do you even know that? Good thing I stopped you before you said it out loud, Firacha muttered, exhaling hard. Thank you, Ran replied softly, a small laugh escaping her lips. You saved me again. She spoke as if nothing serious had happened, showing no sign of fear or embarrassment. You really are drunk, aren't you? You're not like this normally, Firacha said, half serious, half exasperated. Not that drunk, Ran murmured, her expression turning thoughtful. Just running out of patience. Strange, isn't it? Her tone softened, more to herself than anyone else. I don't feel like myself today. That's probably for the better, Firacha said gently. Oh, Ran tilted her head, shifting closer. You prefer me like this, less patient. Maybe if you weren't too patient, things between us wouldn't have ended like this. She had spoken up about every hurt, every discomfort. Maybe they wouldn't be on the path to separation. Let's just go home, she said finally, gripping the wheel again. Am I imagining it? Ran asked softly. Or are you being nicer to me tonight? Firacha froze. She slowly turned toward the voice, only to see a soft smile and eyes warm enough to melt anyone. This woman truly deserved the title Piranchen, the beautiful one. "You're imagining it," she said firmly, but her tone wasn't convincing. Maybe that was why Ranchan Lopez continued smiling sweetly at her. Ran smiled, a faint, knowing smile. "Thank you for being extra kind to me today." The smile stayed, but the warmth in her gaze slowly dimmed as she lowered her head. "It's just been a heavy day." "I'll take you home," Firacha said quietly. "Can you be kind to me just a little longer?" The plea in her voice and eyes hit directly at Firacha's heart. She was already soft today. Now she felt herself completely melt. "Just tell me what you want me to do." Ranchan Lopez didn't hesitate. She nodded, and Firacha drove away from the spot where they had been sitting for so long.